Hi, welcome to our fourth D&D recap. On our last adventure, the party woke up at the Full Moon Inn, thankfully not hungover due to O'Till's concoction. After chatting with Bodie Morrigan, the half-elf that they met at the summit the previous day, the party left to meet Bored Draskin at the Draskin Hold since he requested their help that morning. Treating the party to a hearty Ocasian breakfast, the Baron explained that he needed the party to find Shenron Shamel, a member of Free March's oligarchy, because he had not shown up to meetings, nor has he put his share of coin forward to provide for the lower districts of Free March. He told the party of the 3 places that Shenron may be: a brothel called the Naughty Gorgon, a tavern called Sage and Chain, and Saravesi Falls, a resort just outside of the city. Taking Bored's advice to go to the brothel first, the party met Sheely Mises, the brothel mother, who informed them that Shenron was at the establishment the previous night, but his usual escort, Opal Narumi, may know more about it. Approaching the voluptuous sea elf, Opal told them that he was no longer at the Naughty Gorgon, but that he took her to Sage and Chain the previous night, so he may still be there. After refusing her pleas to accompany the party and further help them, Crispin casted sleep on her so the party could make their leave quickly. Deciding to get this quest completed for the Baron in a timely manner, the party split up, with Crispin and Animax going to Sage and Chain and Gunk and Fish going to Saravesi Falls. Approaching the unassuming bar, Sage and Chain, Animax and Crispin met Ivan Murnot, the owner of the establishment. He told them that he's unsure if Shenron was at the pub last night, but to check the inn rooms upstairs. And not wanting to lose any business from the suggestion, he also informed Crispin and Animax that they would owe 10 silver pieces each for all the patrons disturbed. Once upstairs, Animax transformed into Ivan Murnot, surprising Crispin, who did not know of his true form as a changeling. From there, they knocked on the first door to find some elven women chatting over coffee who did not wish to be disturbed. At the second door, Crispin and Animax knocked to no avail, with the patron inside yelling, "Don't come in," and clicking the door locked. Although the party's charisma powerhouses created a strong plan to pretend to be plumbers checking the rooms, the patron did not fall for it, instead once again insisting, "Go away." Deciding to come back to it later, they moved on to the third door, where they discovered 12 half-dressed gnomes strewn about the room, decorated with rose petals and empty wine bottles, who were far too deep in an alcohol-induced slumber to awaken. Strategically, Crispin used disguised self to turn into an Ocasian guard as they looped back to the locked door. Approaching the second door once again, they heard a crash of a breaking window as the patron attempted to escape, which induced the real Ivan Murnot to check out what was happening upstairs. Seeing an Ocasian guard in the upstairs of his tavern, Ivan was very confused and questioned Crispin, who instinctively casted sleep on him, sending a slumbering Ivan down the stairs into the main hall, which was very suspicious and alarming to the customers who rushed to his aid. Seeing the culprit, the patrons attempted to rush up the stairs, so Crispin used Shape of Water to turn the stairs into an icy slope. Finally busting the door down, Animax discovered that the patron, a young halfling, robbed the room of its valuables and was attempting to squeeze out of a porthole window, which was not working, leaving him stuck. Pulling him out of the window, Animax attempted to question him, but they had more important problems as the patrons were beginning to make their way upstairs. Turning back into himself, Crispin attempted to rush down the stairs but was detained by guards, while Animax made a break for it himself as Ivan Murnot, wherein he surpassed the guards and ran down the streets back to the Full Moon Inn. At Saravesi Falls, Gunk and Fish met a furbolg man who told them that in order to enter the falls, they needed to take off their armor and sheathe their weapons. Reluctantly complying, the Orc and Grung entered the falls in towels where people were relaxing their day away. Spotting a familiar face that treated him as a slave only yesterday, Gunk approached Shenron with Fish and showed him Bored's note demanding his presence. Not wasting any time nor putting on clothing, Shenron made a break for it. With his superior frog speed, Gunk quickly caught up to Shenron, while Fish was unable to dodge a mirror that workers were carrying, smashing into it and losing both Shenron and his ally. Seeing Shenron lose his balance on the wet floors and smack into a group of patrons, Gunk leapt over a pool and clung to him, paralyzing the human. In an extremely bad mood, Fish caught up to Shenron as he picked out glass from his hand. Hoisting the runaway in the air by his neck, Fish swiftly gave him an uppercut, sending him spattering into the pool. After being politely escorted out of Saravesi Falls, Gunk and Fish trekked back into the interior of Free March with Shenron Shamel, still naked, hoisted over the orc's shoulder. Back into Free March, Gunk noticed Emerald the cat snooping in a guard tower. Once he followed the cat up, he saw Crispin in his cell being questioned by a guard captain, a fire genasi named Abliardo Stonecrest. Cool and collected, Crispin relayed the events that occurred at Sage and Chain as Emerald squeezed through the jail cell bars and plopped onto his lap. With a plan in mind, the Grung entered the guard tower, showing the officials their note from Board Draskin along with the official Draskin crest, which was more than enough for them to free his comrade. After hearing of the hot mess that happened at the tavern, Gunk went to the Full Moon Inn to fetch Animax and continue on to the Draskin hold to meet with Fish and Crispin. Once at the hold, Board Draskin said some choice words to Shenron, who was still nude, before sending him off with the royal guards. With a new level of trust for the party, the Baron, with the help of Yalta, explained a serious situation that they believed the party was tied to. After a brief history lesson, they explained that they believed that the party was blessed by the Favor to be the new incarnates of the Sect of Four Champions, which helped the Favor defeat the Ire in the Assault of Paradise over 2,000 years ago. Board also briefed the party of his adventures as he held the title of champion a decade before the Ire corrupted his party members, leaving the Favor to strip his powers away. Thereafter, answering the party's questions of their celestial title, Board awarded the party with the hold's luxuries as well as the knowledge kept there. The party was met with the question, however, of what to do once their time in the hold was over. Will Crispin meet his partner Eye from Thanderland and Sleekshore? Will Fish finally reach Salmut and be reunited with his mercenary group and his personal possessions? Will Gunk further his knowledge with the help of his servants Jaram and Gih? Will Animax decide a path that he will take with his infatuate Otil? We'll discover this and more in our next session.